All right, guys, Grant here. Just want to recap the double breathing Kriya. Okay, so this breath is a Kriya practice. Kriya means evolutionary action. So it's an action that you take to liberate yourself from the things that are keeping you stuck, right? From Yoga Sutra 2.1, a Kriya or Kriya Yoga has three components: tapas, which is effort; svadhyaya, which is your self-observation or observing one's own self; and three, Ishvara Pranidhana, which is surrender to the inner force, the higher self within us. Okay, tapas, svadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana is Kriya Yoga, according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra 2.1. So this Kriya breathwork practice, double breathing Kriya, requires a bit of effort. Yeah, it requires a bit of um, witnessing oneself, and it requires a degree of surrender. And all of those things come together to create an evolutionary action, a spark to motivate your life force to move in the direction of your goal. So, that being said, how do we do the double breathing Kriya? Twice through the nose and twice through the mouth. Okay, like this. You can do it with me. Keep going. And as you're doing this, try to take the breath belly, chest, belly, chest. So you're getting the breath to go in the belly, up the chest. Belly inflates first, chest, collarbones. Three more. Last one. Empty. All right, good job. Now take the recovery breath, okay, from the root of your spine. Inhale up the spine all the way to the brain through the nose. As the breath gets to the top, you're like a full cup. And now seal your container around the breath hold. You're holding the breath in, you're creating a container around it, plugging all the leaks, all the energetic leaks, calling all the parts of yourself back home to a single point. And now, like you're letting air out of a tire, slow, controlled exhale through the mouth. You'll leave a little air in the lungs. You'll get to the end of the exhale and you'll hold the breath out. See how long you can hold the breath out without straining or forcing. There may be some time here that you can hold the breath out. Together, we'll take the recovery breath. Inhale through the nose. Hold. We hold the recovery breath for 12 seconds, bringing all the energy back home, marinating in the effect of your Kriya, of your effort. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Breathe normally for a few breaths. Feel the difference. Notice the effect of one round of double breathing Kriya on your system. Nicely done. So that's 12 breaths. Okay, in through the nose, out through the mouth, belly, chest, whole body exhales. Okay, there's two things that are happening. One, you're oxygenating. You're increasing the oxygen in your body. The double breath actually snaps the alveoli open in the lungs to improve the movement of oxygen into the body and through the lungs. And that the whole breath that you're taking from belly to chest up to the collarbones, sometimes you can get it up to the brain, is causing a full expansion of the lung capacity and your respiratory capability so that your whole body starts to breathe and become sensitive. This is really important. Most of the time we're not breathing all the way. We're not taking deep breaths because our lungs and the muscles of respiration have atrophied. So this will really help increase the ability that you have to bring in and assimilate oxygen. It's amazing. After you've oxygenated, you've exhaled, and then you take this, I called it a recovery breath in here, but what I really meant to say is there's a gathering breath. So after you finish the 12, you take the gathering breath, you gather the energy up, you hold it in the brain, It's like you're this full cup. I was saying seal your container, create a container. Yeah, it's called the kumbhaka, breath retention. And you're plugging all the leaks, making all the prana come home to a center point. We exhale like a tiny little straw or like a hole in a tire. At that point, you hold the breath out for as long as you can. This is your second kumbhaka. You held one at the top, a breath retention at the top. It's called Antar Kumbhaka. And then you hold a breath retention at the bottom. It's called Bahya Kumbhaka. Okay, exhale breath retention. Some people can go for about 90 seconds or even longer. Doesn't matter, no comparison. You might do 10 seconds or 20 seconds before you have the urge to breathe is a really important time in this practice because it's your brain stem is responding to chemoreceptors that are triggered by carbon dioxide buildup in the system. Now, why is that important? Because carbon dioxide buildup in the system is a physiological marker of stress. Okay? And when you override this signal just for a moment, you're actually training your what is considered the animal brain and the unconscious parts of us to move past and through stressful moments. Okay, you don't need to force or fight or strain, but you can do it for just a moment. You can override that signal for just a moment and go just a little bit deeper into your breath hold and dig a little bit deeper into your physiology and your nervous system, and then take your recovery breath. Remember, you're completely safe. You're in your home or somewhere where you're completely safe. You take your recovery breath, you bring all that fresh energy and oxygen into your body. Remember, the second breath is called the recovery breath. First one's gathering. On your recovery breath, you hold for 12 and you just absorb. You absorb the effect of your Kriya. You feel the energy in your body. You feel what's been awakened. And then when you're ready, after 12 seconds, you give it back to life with a saying, thank you, and just feeling. And that's the double breathing Kriya. That's the breathing method that I share most often. And there's variances, there's subtle nuances, there's some cues that I like to use. There's things we can do with our tongue, our eyes, our pelvic floor, with our hands that increase the capacity to contain prana. And over time with this breathing practice, especially training the breath retentions, the kumbhakas, you learn, your body learns how to regulate and contain life force energy, the Shakti, the prana that is moving through your system and through all the systems in life. It's amazing work. So I'm really happy to be sharing this with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Double breathing Kriya, Kriya Yoga from Grant, with Grant. Namaste.